Next, we're going to see how he begins to support that argument. And in this part of the video, we'll start looking at how to highlight main points in the article so that you can then use those to write your summary. So what I'm going to look for are, what are his solutions? What is it exactly he's trying to do? And I see the first one here. Reduce to about 24 from 108 the number of questions on the form that 20 million families fill out every year to apply for federal student financial aid. So his first solution is to make that form, which is called the FAFSA, to make that form simpler. So that's solution one. Now that I know that, and I just put this in my own much simpler words here, I can take that and put that in my summary. Okay, and I'm going to go a little bit further down here and look at the next paragraph because I know what his first solution is. Okay, just as we make it easier to apply for a student loan, we must also make it easier to pay back a student loan. Okay, it looks like we're getting a preview of his solution number 2. We also have to make it easier to pay back loans. So I'm going to put that in my summary too. Here he's starting to say more about that. Let's look at the next paragraph. A borrower right now has to choose among 5 different income-based repayment options. Okay, so he's saying it's kind of complicated right now to figure out how to pay back your student loan. Here he's getting a little bit more precise with his second solution. My second proposal is to replace that complicated system with 2 options. Okay, so this is more details on solution 2. So solution 1, I remember, was we're going to simplify the FAFSA form, fewer questions. But solution 2 is we're going to create a simpler repayment system that has only 2 options. Okay, I'm following his argument so far. Let's go to the next paragraph. For example, Joe is unmarried with no children. He earns a bachelor's degree in engineering. He owes the average loan for a college graduate, $28,500. His starting salary is $60,000. And I'm going to scroll down here. Okay, so Joe's going to end up paying $343 a month. Okay, so what's he doing in this paragraph? He's really just adding more details to solution 2. He's giving us an example of how that would work. That's the first way you can repay. Okay, oh, and then here's the other repayment option. The other repayment option would just be a standard 10-year repayment plan. Okay, so more details on solution 2. This is the second repayment option. So we're still talking about his second proposal. It's just that there's more to say about it. He's giving more details and examples to kind of flesh that out. Okay, here we go. So if I look for phrases like this, my third proposal, that's pretty easy to see that now we're on solution 3. And solution 3 is to increase accountability so that colleges, and now he seems like he's talking to administrators here, so that colleges don't encourage overborrowing. Okay, so that's the third point that he's making. And that's not so much about people applying or paying back the loans, that's about how the colleges are accountable for making sure they're not giving out loans that are more than students are able to pay back. Okay, so what's he doing in this paragraph? It's never easy to pay for college. Here he seems to be arguing that we are generous to students and that average loan debts are not that bad. That's kind of interesting because he said sort of the opposite up above. The current level of generosity towards students is unprecedented. While student debt is high, the average loan for a 4-year college graduate is about the same as the average car loan. So that's kind of interesting. So I'm not quite sure who he's talking to here or what point he's trying to make other than there are things we can do. The problem is there, but it's maybe not as bad as we think. Okay, and then I'm going to come down to his conclusion. He says, I'm working with Senator Patty Murray. So here I feel like he's talking a bit to his voters to say, look at the good work I'm doing. The next time a student asks, can I afford it? Is it worth it? Can you make it simpler to apply for aid and pay back loans? I want to be able to answer yes. And the other comment I made here is that his essay seems to be mostly addressing this point about how to make it easier to apply for aid and pay back loans.